The number of protons in a silicon atom are A4, B8, C12, D14. The correct answer is 14. The fact that domains exhibits spontaneous magnetization is A. First hypothesis is of Curie. B. Second hypothesis is of Weiss. C. Curie Weiss law. D. Boltzmann's statistics. The correct answer is second hypothesis is of Weiss. The most important set of specifications of transformer oil include A. Dielectric strength and viscosity. B. Dielectric strength and flash point. C. Viscosity and flash point. D. Flash point and viscosity. The correct answer is dielectric strength and viscosity. Nickel is a non-magnetic material. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is false. With increase in temperature, the electrical conductivity would A. Increase in metals as well as in intrinsic semiconductor. B. Increase in metals but decrease in intrinsic semiconductor. C. Decrease in metals but increase in intrinsic semiconductor. D. Decrease in metals as well as in intrinsic semiconductor. The correct answer is decrease in metals but increase in intrinsic semiconductor. An electron for which L0 has zero orbital magnetic dipole moment. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. The resistance of a metallic wire would A. Increase as F increase. B. Decrease as F increase. C. Remains the same at all frequencies. D. Increase with F up to a certain frequency and then decrease. The correct answer is increase as F increase. If a small amount of Cu is added to Ni conductor, then A. Resistivity of Ni will decrease at all temperatures because Cu is a better conductor than Ni. B. Residual resistivity of Ni at low temperature will increase as Cu atoms act as defect centers. C. Resistivity of Ni will increase at all temperatures as Cu destroys the periodicity of Ni and acts as defects. D. Resistivity of Ni remains the same. The correct answer is resistivity of Ni will increase at all temperatures as Cu destroys the periodicity of Ni and acts as defects. When a dielectric material is subjected to alternating field, the absorption of energy by the material from the field is given by the imaginary part of polarizability. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. Which of the following are true for relative dielectric constant? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is 1 and 2 only. Schrodinger wave equation is partial differential equation. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. Hall effect is observed in a specimen metal or semiconductor when it is carrying current and is placed in a magnetic field. The resultant electric field inside the specimen is A. Normal to both current and magnetic field. B. In the same direction as current. C. In a direction anti-parallel to magnetic field. D. None of the above. The correct answer is normal to both current and magnetic field. The capacitance of a capacitor is not affected by A. Area of plates. B. Thickness of plates. C. R. D. Distance between plates. The correct answer is thickness of plates. Carbon steel has a residual flux density of 1 watt pm2. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. When an atom of polarizability A is placed in an electric field E, the energy stored in atom is 0.5 AE2. A true. B false. C. D. The correct answer is true. The charge per proton is A 1.6 x 1019 C. B 2.6 x 1019 C. C 0.6 x 1019 C. D 1.6 x 1013 C. The correct answer is 1.6 x 1019 C. The merger of hole and free electron is called A. Covalent bonding. B. Recombination. C. Thermal energy. D. Free electrons. The correct answer is recombination. The magnetic quantum number determines the component of angular momentum along a prescribed direction. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. Wood is a diamagnetic material. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is false. Curie Weiss law is A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. Consider the following materials. A. 1432. B. 1423. C. 4132. D. 4123. The correct answer is 1423. The unit for mmF is A. B. WB. C. T. dV. The correct answer is A. A magnetic field exists around A. Moving charges. B. Static charges. C. Iron. D. Copper. The correct answer is moving charges. A conductor carries a current in x direction and is lying in a field having a flux density 0.2 T directed along z direction. The magnitude of force per meter length and direction are A2 in y direction, B2 in y direction, C 0.02 in y direction, D 0.02 in y direction. The correct answer is 2 in y direction. The residual resistivity of a binary alloy at 0 K is A. Sum of residual resistivities of component metals. B. Difference of residual resistivities of component metals. C. Product of residual resistivities of component metals. D. Dependent on the concentration of minor component in the alloy. The correct answer is dependent on the concentration of minor component in the alloy. The resistance of a photoconductor. A. Increases with increase in light intensity. B. Decreases with increase in light intensity. C. May increase or decrease with increase in light intensity. D. Remains constant. The correct answer is decreases with increase in light intensity. If the number of atoms per unit volume of a monoatomic gas changes, the dielectric constant still remains constant. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. The number of protons in a copper atom are A. 2. B. 9. C. 11. D. 29. The correct answer is 29. When a material is in superconducting state and a magnetic field is applied, the superconducting property is not affected. B. The superconducting property may be affected and resistivity may increase from 0 to a low value. C. The superconducting property may be destroyed. D. The material may become an insulator. The correct answer is the superconducting property may be destroyed. For a diamagnetic material R1, A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. We can know the arrangement of atom in a material by studying electron diffraction pattern. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. The elements which become superconducting at extremely low temperatures are A. Good conductors at room temperature. B. Ferromagnetic at room temperature. C. Relatively poor conductors at room temperature. D. Insulators at room temperature. The correct answer is relatively poor conductors at room temperature. Electrical contact materials used in switches, brushes, relay must possess A. High thermal conductivity and high melting point. B. Low thermal conductivity and low melting point. C. High thermal conductivity and low melting point. D. Low thermal conductivity and high melting point. The correct answer is high thermal conductivity and high melting point. If P is permanent dipole moment and T is absolute temperature, the orientation polarization of polyatomic gases is A. Proportional to P to T. B. Proportional to C. Proportional to Pt. D. Proportional to. The correct answer is proportional to. The phenomenon of dielectric hysteresis occurs with A. DC. B. AC. C. Both AC and DC. D. None of the above. The correct answer is AC. The induced magnetic dipole moment is independent of the permanent magnetic dipole moment. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. The core of a solenoid is made of material of relative permeability R. A small cavity area dA and length dl is cut in the core. If it is desired that flux density in the cavity should be equal to B0, other fields inside and outside the cavity must be equal. B. The field inside the cavity must be made stronger than field outside the cavity. C. The field inside the cavity must be made weaker than the field outside the cavity. D. None of the above. The correct answer is the field inside the cavity must be made stronger than field outside the cavity. A copper specimen has resistivity equal to 1.8 x 10⁸ ohm-m at room temperature. At a temperature of 700 K, the resistivity is likely to be A. 1.6 x 10⁸ m, B. 2 x 10⁸ m, C. 3 x 10⁸ m, D. 6 x 10⁸ m. The correct answer is 6 x 10⁸ m. As the atoms of rare gases become larger, electronic polarizability A. increases, B. decreases, C. remains the same, D. may increase or decrease. The correct answer is remains the same. Ferrimagnetic materials have antiparallel orientation of equal moments of permanent dipoles. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. Yettrium-iron garnet Y2Fe5012 is a soft magnetic material suitable for applications involving A. DC. B. 50 Hz AC. C. AC of a few kHz. D. AC of a few hundred mHz. The correct answer is DC. The mass of proton and electron are A. 1.672 x 1026 kg and 9.107 x 1031 kg respectively. B. 9.107 x 1026 kg and 9.107 x 1031 kg respectively. C. 9.107 x 1029 kg and 9.107 x 1031 kg respectively. D. 9.107 x 1030 kg and 9.107 x 1031 kg respectively. The correct answer is 1.672 x 1026 kg and 9.107 x 1031 kg respectively. A rare gas having n atoms M3 is subjected to an electric field E. The electric dipole moment per unit volume is proportional to N and E. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. In an intrinsic semiconductor at a given temperature T, the number of electrons hole pairs generated per second due to thermal motion are equal to the number of electron hole pairs lost per second due to recombination. B. The number of electron hole pairs generated per second due to thermal motion is always less than the number of electron hole pairs lost per second due to recombination. C. The number of electron hole pairs generated per second due to thermal motion is always more than the number of electron hole pairs lost per second due to recombination. D. Any of the above. The correct answer is the number of electrons hole pairs generated per second due to thermal motion are equal to the number of electron hole pairs lost per second due to recombination.